Habitats and the Environment, written by Kara Fried. Introduction. Can you imagine a wild polar bear in Hawaii? How about a palm tree at the South Pole? You may know that these things do not happen, but do you know why not? A habitat has the food, water, air, and shelter a living things needs. Habitats can have many parts that work together. As you read, you will learn why the picture on this page could not be real. The building blocks of habitats. Earth has many habitats. To know why, let's learn about building blocks of habitat. The first building block is the latitude. Latitude measures how far a place is from the equator. The sun warms.
Latitudes
Near the equator more. The sun warms latitudes near the North Pole and South Pole less. The second building block of habitats is elevation. Elevation is how high or low a place is. The sun warms low place more than high place. Why is that? The air around Earth is the atmosphere. It's like a blanket of air. The blanket is thick close to the ground, so it holds more heat. The blanket is sun and high elevation, so it holds less heat. Climate is a half of the third building block of habitat. Climate is weather over many years. Temperature, wind, and water in the air are all part of climate. Different places on Earth have different climates. Wowza! The North Pole never gets dark in the middle of summer in June. The sun never rises in the middle of winter in December. At the South Pole, winter in June is completely dark. Summer in December is light but not bright. The other half of the habitat block is water and land. Almost 3/4 of Earth's surface is water. Most of the water is in ocean. Other water is in lakes, streams, and underground. Earth's land is different from place to place. All these building blocks control what plants can grow in place, and because plants are food for many animals, the plants control what animal can live in a place. So, plants and animals are the last two building blocks in habitat. All the building blocks make Earth's many different habitats. Serving in habitats.
Surviving.
Living things survive best in habitats where they have everything they need. Living things need food, water, and shelter. They also need room, safety, and a place to have a raised baby. Plants and animals in habitats depend on each other. Every part of habitat is important. All the living things have a advantage.
Adaptations.
to survive in their habitat. Some adaptations are helpful body parts. Other adaptations are helpful action.
Adaptations.
Adaptation behaviors. This flower smells like rotten meat. Flies come from they like the smell. The flies carry the flower pollen to other flowers. Mooks often stand in a close circle to protect their young body parts. The bottom plant in this picture grows mostly in shade. It has big leaves to soak up lots of sunlight. A giant anthills has a long snout. The snout helps the antler find and eat insects. 3 other Earth's habitat. Earth's environment is made of living and non-living parts all over the world. The environment is made of lots of different habitats. Let's learn about 3 different habitats. The first habitat is a savanna in Africa. And savanna is a grassland near the equator and a low elevation. The climate is hot and is also dry most of the year. Heavy rain falls in the summer. It's too dry here for most trees to grow. A few trees grow far from one another so they can drink up the water that falls from them. Animals on the savanna do not have many places to hide. Zebras live in large groups to help them stay safe. Small animals hide under the ground. Cheetahs run fast to catch their food. Lions use their scents. Next, we visit a forest in the middle latitude. This habitat far from the equator, so it's not as hot as a savanna. The climate also change more in different seasons, and winters are cold. Many trees in the forest drop their leaves in winter. Dropping leaves is an adaptation that gives an energy. As the weather warms up again, it's spring. The trees grow new leaves. Animals in this forest have adaptation to survive the cold winters. Geese go to the warm place to find food. Some animals save food to eat in winter. Other animals hibernate in winter. Now we will visit to a polar bear habitat in the northern Canada. This habitat is called the tundra. Snow and ice cover the land for much of the year. Plants grow in place where the snow melts. Plants grow too close to the ground to be safe from strong winds. The tundra does not have many trees. Deeps grow in the frozen ground. Many animals leave for the winter. The animals that stay in winter have adaptation to help them survive in the cold. Moose have thick fur to keep them warm. Seals and whales have lots of fat to keep them warm in cold water. Some small animals stay under the ground or live in winter. Changing habitat. Many things can change habitats. Animals are one thing that can change habitats. Beavers build dams across streams. The dam causes the stream to flood. The water makes new habitat for frogs, turtles, and other animals. Earthworms dig tunnels to the ground. The tunnel let air to the ground. The air helps plants to grow better. Fires, floods, weather, and other things in the nature change habitat too. Lava from the volcano destroys everything in its path, but it also makes a new habitat. Big storm can destroy an island or make a new one. People also change habitats. They cut down forests for woods and to make farms. Sometimes people build cities that cover land with concrete and building. You can change the habitat in your own backyard. A garden brings new animals. A bird feeder brings many kinds of birds. People also change habitat by causing pollution. When people throw away food and many other things, bad chemicals get into the ground and water. Erosion hurts habitat too. When people cut down forests, the roots no longer hold the ground together. Rain can wash away the soil. Conclusion. In this book, you'll learn about the buildings of habitat. You also learn how all the things in habitats belong together. Now you know why the pictures on page 4 could not be real. Each of the Earth has habitat is a system. Each habitat is a home for the plants and animals that live there. When the habitat is upset, living things are hard times surviving. What can you do to help the balance of Earth's habitats?